What's happening, folks? I'm back with another reaction, back with some more Duran Duran, and we're going back to their 1993 self-titled album, which, as I understand now, is commonly referred to as the Wedding Album. Very much enjoying this album. Obviously, as I mentioned in some of the very first Duran Duran reactions I did, this was an album which reconnected me to Duran Duran in my teens. I had sort of, remembered them from my youth, and obviously songs like Rio and Hungry Like the Wolf I had very much enjoyed as a kid. But I, had lost sight of them. I'm not even sure if I heard the songs on Notorious, even though that was only a couple years later. As I listened to the first couple, I just did a couple reactions to that album. Check it out if you're interested. But yeah, when I heard those, they didn't sort of ring a bell. So for some reason, I just sort of, didn't hear their music for about a decade. And then when I heard this album, it really struck me in a couple tunes in particular, Come Undone and Ordinary World. I did react to both of those, and I actually came back and did Ordinary World again because the version on this album was indeed a bit extended and had some, instrumental expression that the sort of radio version just didn't have time for. But yeah, I noticed that the tune Shotgun is only like 50 seconds long or something, so I'll come back to that. I will do everything on the album, but I wanted to do a song that, has a bit more length. So yeah, let me know what the deal is with Shotgun. I am interested, but I wanted to do one that, has a bit more, like I said, length, so it would be like more of a normal reaction. Because I was going to do Shotgun and another tune, but here's the thing, Come Undone is the tune that follows Shotgun, so it felt weird to like do one song, then skip over another and do the one after that, because it wouldn't, I have done a few where, the one track bleeds into the next track, and so it was appropriate to do them together. But yeah, so I've decided to skip ahead to Breath After Breath. Eventually I'll come back and do Shotgun. Like I said, let me know, what the deal is with it being so short. I am curious. But yeah, let's listen to it. This is Breath After Breath, which, lyrically or thematically, it suggests to me a sort of, the sort of pulse of life, the everyday biological reality of being here, being alive enough to think, and that is, that you have respiratory and other biological requirements. So it's also a suggestion of maybe moment after moment, this kind of, you can only go through your life each moment at a time. Even if you can think about tomorrow or 10 years from now, the reality is you have to live through every moment, every breath along the way. So yeah, those are the themes that jump out to me when I see that title. So could have nothing to do with that, of course, but yeah, I am interested. So let's get to it. This is Breath After Breath by Duran Duran on their 1993 album Duran Duran. Oh wow. Visionary kind of melody, like I'm seeing like far distances as I hear it. Oh wow. Sonic Gold. Wow, that was a shift. Almost kind of like a Latin flavor. Every day I wake up in this room, and I don't know where I come from, where I'm going to. Interesting. You're in the flow of time, but you're not sure what lies in either direction. That's not Simon, right? Or is it? That's not Simon, right? Come on. Definitely getting some Latin flavor off this. This is great. I listen to like Ozo Motley and some groups that sort of combine some different flavors, including like Latin music. Breath after breath, he carries this mortal coil or this mortal something. Which again, I think some of what I was thinking is maybe going in the right territory. respiratory processes as reflective of like what it means to be alive in these moments. Each moment, each breath. This is great. I never heard this. This is fantastic. Sonic Gold, it gets those really high moments. It's like Sonic Platinum, like Sonic Plasma. It's just good writing. So like the high-end percussion, like rhythmic, but sort of like adjacent to what else was unfolding in that moment. The way he swept in front of the other vocals. It was like passing the torch, but they're still like Simon's voice, I mentioned it before, like, just has this, like, liquidy, sort of metallic, like, it, like, blends colors together at those, like, really high latitudes. Tune. It's funny though, again, I heard back in the day Come Undone and Ordinary World on the radio a great deal, but I also remember seeing videos for both of those on MTV and I'm trying to remember, was there another music channel back then? I guess VH1, did they show a lot of music videos? I don't remember. Because I don't remember watching MTV, but I certainly remember seeing those videos, so perhaps, you know, I made exceptions with like, oh wait, this is Duran Duran? Like, what? I remember them, like, this is crazy. Might have been something like that, but yeah, I don't remember that tune, same album, so, you know, it's weird how some tunes, you know, don't get the same single sort of attention, and they don't, you know, get the same amount of radio play, but that was brilliant. And again, it had some different flavors, had a really sort of like melodic singing, like songwriting sort of feel, but it also had the like kind of Latin flavor. It had a groove to it. Yeah, that was really cool. So let me know, because again, by the end they were singing like sort of in offset and even in conjunction. So I think there was definitely someone aside from Simon singing there. Someone shouted out, let me know what that was all about, who that was. Really interested by that tune. I have to hear it again to get a bit more of the themes, but I do think some of the, you know, speculative ideas I had at the beginning were maybe, you know, at least running in the right direction, if not exactly down the right specific alleyway. So yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if you have an interpretation that you'd like to discuss, or sort of, you know, context about the tune or your own involvement with it, which is interesting. You know, I'm getting a lot of great information about, you know, the writing of some of these songs, and you know, the background of making certain albums, what producers they work with, and who was in the band at the given time, and I absolutely love that. But I also love that some people have brought forward their, like, oh, you know, their personal experiences. Like, I didn't listen to this album because I, you know, was sort of busy in this time of my life, but it's interesting to go back to it, and oh, I remember when I was listening to this, that, you know, it was this time in my life, and I was doing this with my friends and so on. It's really interesting to hear sort of the way that musical experiences imprint on people's memories and sort of their you know, cherished experiences that they can look back on and so on, which, you know, it's certainly the case for me. Obviously with Duran Duran, this full deep dive is more of a recent thing, so the only ones that I can sort of associate with is going back once again to sort of the songs from Rio and then the songs from this album about a decade later. But I absolutely know what it's like to, associate certain things with particular experiences, even if in of itself the song doesn't necessarily have that connection. I just did a reaction to a Bob Marley and the Wailers song, Could You Be Loved? And I was talking about, I absolutely love that song, and the lyrics, they kind of have that, like, strong social ethos and sort of, appeal for, fairness for the masses and so on that a lot of Bob's songs have. But I mentioned that to me it'll always remind me of going to my very first rave party out in the California desert, because we were listening to a Bob Marley CD on the way there, and like right when we got to the party, that song was playing, and as we were driving up and I saw the parked cars and the speaker walls and so on, it was like, oh my gosh, and that song was playing, imprinted forever on my brain. When I hear it, I can hear it for the tune it is, but it is also inextricably linked to that experience of my own. So I really do enjoy hearing the sort of anecdotes and personal histories of the way that you guys have interacted with Duran Duran over the years. So even if you don't have crazy background about an album, please feel free to comment and just let me know what you think and the way these albums have hit you over time. So thank you for listening and watching. I'll see you next time.